we have some special authors here in the room tonight who are being recognized, and you'll see their photos in the magazine as well. So before we go tonight, please make sure that you do take a photo with either by yourself or Bukola or the committee that's put this event together, or even the authors up front. But maybe you'll want to take this opportunity to have them sign your magazine or your program, because you never know, and you can just flaunt around a signature and say, guess whose autograph that I got. One thing that I didn't mention, and I don't know if we had this conversation on the call. So earlier this June, I ran for Mrs. Minnesota, and I did not win this pageant, but I will try again next year. But I am the current title holder of Mrs. St. Paul, and it's just an absolute pleasure for me to extend. Well, thank you. Thank you.
My daughter is running for Miss Minnesota
this weekend.
Well, it must be a different Miss Minnesota, but
The America pageant this week.
okay.
We'll talk later. I love that. So, but this was not about me. Oh gosh. But so my purpose of saying that is that and I'm married to an African American. So it is absolutely touching to see so much diversity and inclusion in a project like this, and the mission-driven cause that's connected to it. So I'll share a little bit more about that later. But the platform that I speak on is youth empowerment. So I have a web series and a blog that talks a lot about influential women in the Twin Cities, and I think I'm going to have to do a feature on Bukola. What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. Enough about me. So back to the night that we're here. She's never going to have me back, I swear. So we have a featured author that is here to present something so sweet and just share a little bit of a message. So if we can welcome our featured author, Samuel Jacobs, to the floor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank everyone who has supported me by buying my book and cheering me on. You are all very impactful. I would like to thank my mom for helping me and the illustrator that was willing to illustrate the book to get it published. I made this book because I want to inspire other kids and tell them that you can do anything if you put your mind to it. I'm grateful to my teachers from Head Start and Lincoln Elementary School for the Arts for giving me a foundation that I will be building upon in my new school at the Washington campus of Anoka Middle School of the Arts. I would like to give a special shout out to Grandpa Jim Brander, who has helped me as a male role model. He enrolled me in Cub Scouts and helped me successfully transition into Boy Scouts. With his help, I have won the Pinewood Derby race in the first and second places in the past 2 years. I would like to present him with the cover of my book. Thank you, Grandpa Jim, and thank you everyone for listening. God bless you. Goodbye.
Thanks.
We have a little gift for you as well that was not told to you. So please come back up here and accept a token of our appreciation for the hard work that you do, because that's a huge accomplishment. Am I right?
Yes.
So if you haven't purchased his book, it'd be a great time to talk to him about how you can do so. I will do all the promotions I can. And we have another thank you, because it doesn't, it takes a village, it takes the army to put this night together and then really support the mission and all the moving parts. So we'd like to say thank you to Yvette Toko as well. Do you have an acceptance speech?
I do not, because this is a surprise.
Surprise! Thank you. This is a sweet, humble, intimate setting, and whether if it's 5 people or 5,000 people, a wedding, what have you, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to put the event together itself, and of course, every single person that's in the room really makes a difference. Not only because you're physically here, but because you believe in the project or something inspired you to attend and to really believe in the cause, to push it forward. So if you are on social media, please use the fancy hashtag that everybody always talks so highly about, which is the #. So it's hashtag #LMagLaunch. That's how we like to get the message and the movement out there, but also see who's taking these fun photos tonight. So we're going to keep it going a little bit, and I want to start acknowledging some of the authors in Elle Magazine. I won't read you all the slides, but just to acknowledge Yvette Toko, Deborah Sawyer, and you can applaud or you can think about positive things in your mind. Dr. Artika Tyner, I think I missed one slide. I'm already failing. Oops, sorry. Marla Siley and Jerry Darby and Nate A. Munini, Pastor Victoria Shawnee, Melanie Bragg, Rita Apalu, Sharon Jenkins, Jacqueline Marie Milton, Linda Hutchinson, Professor Joseph Bailey, Manning Wolf, and McKenna, and it's Cycles. So please, round of applause for all the authors. And speaking of Linda Hutchinson, unfortunately she could not be here tonight. She is taking care of herself, battling some treatment through a cancer diagnosis. So in honor, but she has a huge heart, and she wants things to stay on a positive note. So please take a copy that she is donating to all of you of her book up front on your way out, which is out by the banner. So it's called Laugh Yourself Happy. Kids Say Delightful Things, because we all need laughter. So one more round of applause for Linda, and we wish her all the best. So we want to give a little extra acknowledgement to some award recipients. Do we have a fancy slide we want to put up for each one of them? I'll pause. What dad jokes and poor jokes can I fill this time with? You don't want to know, so we'll just take a moment. We'd like to thank all of our vendors that were here, that are here tonight. So please take some time afterwards and make sure you take a peek at the tables up front. There's some nice literature for reading and for sharing. And if this is something that you want to continue to support, we please welcome you to stay with the movement and follow Bukola on her website, which I'll share that at the end, bukolaoriola.com. And I'll reiterate that again. So let's go ahead and acknowledge our People's Choice Award, which, as you see here, is Dr. Artika R. Tyner. Is she here? Of course she sees me and I see her. Thank you so much. This was voted by many who had seen your work, and you had the most amount of likes and engagement and acknowledgments. So thank you so much, Doctor. I also have to acknowledge that the gal on the cover is wearing a cape, so I have to read this because it has to do with superheroes. I can just tell you. The show that I host on my web series is about Wonder Women and young girls, so we'll talk later. The next one, Publisher of the Year. Our Publisher of the Year award goes to Planting People Growing Justice, PPGJ. All right. It's like the Oscars. You just keep taking them home. Wonderful. Is there anything that you'd like to share either on your personal award or on the work that you're doing with this?
Sure.
Go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the acknowledgement, but more importantly, thank you, Bukola, for the work. Because when I first had an opportunity to meet Bukola, I said I need to work harder. I was like, you're publishing the books, you're doing the nonprofit, I need another work assignment. But most importantly, her message about dreams really resonated with me. It's that sense of, are you bold enough, courageous enough to chase your dreams to the very end? I know one of the motivational coaches said one of the places where you find the most riches and values is in the graveyard. And I thought, why would you say that? Because many of us die living a life unfulfilled. So I think for this, I thought about setting up a publishing company because everyone said it could not be done. When I wanted to publish my first book on superheroes, they said, well, you need a traditional publisher. I looked in the mirror and said, it's me. And then from there, I started to publish children's books because I looked at the data. When 1 in 4 children are not reading at grade level, and a child's not reading at grade level is 4 times more likely to drop out of school, I knew there was work to be done. And then the statistics became even worse when I found out only 1 in 3 kids that look like me in Minnesota, meaning black kids, are reading at grade level. So I knew there was more work to do. And then it wasn't finished quite yet, because I thought about it. I said, out of all these years, have I ever had a book that has a picture of someone that looks like me as a kid? No. There are about 3,500 books published each year, and only about 10% of them have an author of color or a main character of color. So I knew that I also had an obligation to help promote multicultural education. And last but not least, they say the children are our future. The children are right now. I wanted to inspire them to be leaders today. So thank you. I'm quite humbled that you supported and were a part of the vision and mission for making our press company come alive. So I appreciate you.
We're going to do an impromptu Q&A. Is that okay? You give me the microphone. I just kind of run with it. So I apologize. I did not pause on your slide. But so can you talk just briefly a little bit about what inspired the superhero concept?
Okay. Thank you. Well, the superhero concept for me was actually inspired by Congressman John Lewis. When he launched the book series, and all I do is spend my paychecks on books, so watch out. So I encourage you to buy the trilogy entitled March. It talks about the history of civil rights. I'm a civil rights attorney by training. And I didn't know that one of the earliest publications by or about Dr. King was what? A comic book. And so they used the actual images of superheroes to inspire young people, comic books, that they could be superheroes, basically meaning they could be difference makers. So going to see Congressman John Lewis, my deal was sealed. I needed a superhero to be the main character of the book.
That's applaud-worthy. My second question, and actually I'll spring a third one on you, is if you had a superhero, if you had a superhero power, what would that be?
I love it. I think I work in that power every day. It's teaching and instructing. This is my 13th year at the University of St. Thomas, so my 13th school year. And my image is actually a Miss Freedom Fighter Esquire, basically Wonder Woman with a law degree and an afro. So my faith is my shield, and my sword has been my legal training, tearing down barriers around educational disparities and helping to end mass incarceration.
And where can people learn more about you and your work and connect with you and support you?
Oh, I love your question. We'll get that in a moment. You can purchase the books, the children's books. We have the first one, Justice Makes a Difference, the story of Miss Freedom Fighter Esquire. It's in the front. And the second one, I was inspired. I ran into the same problem. I'm traveling throughout the continent of Africa, and I can't find two things: dolls and books that represent the people that I'm seeing every day. So the second book is called Amazing Africa A to Z. And to make it simple for you, if you need to find me, I think if you Google my name, you'll be at my front door. There aren't too many Articas. So articatiner.com is my website address.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tyner. We'll keep it going, but I want to be friends with her. Just going to say. She seems like a cool gal.